Welcome to Ringsiders Wrestling. Today on the show, we're joined by an up-and-coming talent. We're joined by Boujii. Welcome to the show, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you for having me, man. Appreciate it.
Not a problem, man. We've been looking forward to this one because we like speaking to, like I said, the up-and-coming talents, and the American independents are full of up-and-coming talents. We speak to more Americans than we do British people, just because the American indies has always been the heart of the independent scene, if you ask me. And especially on the East Coast, which is where you're from, like it's all, Philadelphia, New York, they've all been like the heart of independent wrestling, and it's great to speak to people who are part of that scene. For you, I mean, over the pandemic, have you been able to keep up with the training and stuff like that?
Yeah, so the pandemic has been crazy. So up until I want to say 2 months ago, I really wasn't doing too much.
Yeah.
Last year, when the pandemic got in full force, I had one last match right before COVID went crazy because I trained with Johnny Rodz at World Unpredictable Wrestling. And I swear to you, bro, literally 2 weeks before it went crazy, we had the show and I got sick. I'm like, yo, what's going on with me? So I had the fever, I had the chills, the sore throat, all the symptoms. And I go to the doctor's oh yeah, you might just have bronchitis or something. All right, whatever. Mad fatigue, bro, and then 2 weeks later, everything shuts down. So I'm like, damn, I think I might have had it.
Yeah.
So it was it was strange, bro, because everything stopped. You're thinking all right, when the next time I'm gonna wrestle? Because you see people panicking over paper towel, toilet tissue, food and everything. So I'm looking at all these basic life needs, and it's yo, when I'm gonna get back in the ring?
Yeah, right.
I'm just now starting to get a flow. We was doing a show every Thursday on YouTube. We was finally starting to pick up, and then boom, that happened. So I really didn't do much up until like I said, 2 months ago, I finally started hitting the indie scene.
Yeah.
When you train with Johnny Rodz, you can't do indies. You feel me? You gotta just stay there. So
Right.
that was something where it was damn, I love being here, but it's this pandemic kind of opened my eyes. Cause yo, anything like that could happen, and then everything's over.
Of course. I mean, we've spoken to a lot of people who have trained with Johnny Rodz. He seems to be a very popular trainer, quite old school in his mentality. But what made you go to see Johnny Rodz? Because I've heard good things about his training.
So it really started off where I always wanted to wrestle. You know what I'm saying? Every kid, real cliche. Yo, I knew I wanted to do when I was a little kid. All that, watching my mom. So the thing about it was I didn't know how to get into it. You go to school, you see basketball, baseball, football, usual stuff. But
Where do you go for pro wrestling?
Exactly, bro. And then we had a wrestling team at my school. I'm oh yeah, I'm gonna be a wrestler. Nah, it was the Greco-Roman stuff, the singlet with the headpiece. I'm yeah, this isn't what I thought it would be. So yeah, I left that alone, and then I went away to college. And I was just sitting in my room, bro. Yo, I gotta do something. I'm gonna play ball seriously. I'm gonna wrestle. And I go on Google, looking up. Another school came up, House of Glory. I know a lot of people they go to out here, and it was WW. So then I'm there looking what the hell is a hog? What's hog? And then I'm looking at WW what's woo? What is all this stuff? And I just started doing my research, and then what really did it for me was he's a WWE Hall of Famer. You know what I'm saying? No knock to anyone else. But it's my whole thing was I want to learn from a guy who was there. Who literally was in the trenches, who did everything, who worked for that company, and it's I gotta learn from that tree. And then, from there, I was yo, I went in to see Johnny. And then, I was training with him for 4 years.
Awesome, dude. So you've had 4 years experience training with Johnny Rodz, a Hall of Famer. And I can speak from experience where, I did train once when I was 17, and I trained up until I was 20. But I just wanted to get in the ring with anybody, any trainer. And it turned out to be the worst decision I ever made. Because he was just a con man. He just wanted your money. People got injured. With you went in there, found a reputable trainer. You've learned from the best. Like I said, we've had many people say Johnny Rodz is old school as it gets, but you come out with such a knowledge of how the business works. And do you feel like you've gained, in that time with Johnny Rodz, you've really understood not just how to wrestle in the ring, but how the wrestling industry works too?
Oh, Absolutely, bro. Because it was one thing that he said to me. I'll never forget it. It was like one of my first, probably my first month there. He said it's called professional wrestling. The wrestling, that's everything inside the ring. But a lot of people don't understand the professional side. That's inside and out the ring.
Yeah,
So you gotta learn how to be a pro and a wrestler. And it was like that blew my mind,
That's
bro.
blown my mind just thinking about it. Like, it's two different things, isn't it? The wrestling's in the ring, the professional is mostly outside of the ring.
Yes,
Yeah.
and it's like, how to conduct yourself. And it's like I took that and that always stayed with me. So it was like being that, we couldn't do indies, we didn't get the name, like a lot of like these other big people have. We have such a knowledge of the game where it's like, we know how to conduct ourselves in certain situations. We know how to identify certain things like, okay, maybe I should stay away from this. Okay, this is a good opportunity here. You know what I'm saying? You get to see things from such a different scope where it's like, okay, like, thank you, Johnny. Like being with Johnny taught me how to maneuver and be a pro. Essentially be a pro, have discipline, be a professional at all times, and just, know how to conduct yourself. So like I feel like that's probably that's something that I take way more value than having a big name right now. Because you'll have guys that have like a name, you hear some bad things about them, an ego and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't want to have that attached to you. I'd rather be the guy who's like, oh, I don't know where he's from, but he's very professional.
Yeah, absolutely. I already get that vibe from you. You can tell just by talking to you that you not only have respect for the business, you also respect your own self-worth too. And you've got to have both in professional wrestling. Like, you can't be taken advantage of by the promoters or the wrestlers, but you've also got to respect the business too at the same time. And I think that comes with that old school mentality of, say, Johnny Rodz: respect the business and the business will respect you back.
Yeah, that's literally what he says. He's like, you're only get like what you put in. This guy who's been a really, really big influence on my career. His name is PJ Savage.
Right.
He also trained with me at WW. He's a great guy because it's like when I first got there, I kind of did a couple mistakes. You feel me? I was just so happy to be there. I'm posting on Instagram. I'm trying to get this guy, that guy, because I'm trying to bring everybody together. Like, yo, I'm finally a wrestler. And then like he told me, he was like, you got to treat Johnny how you would treat Vince McMahon. You got to treat WW how you would treat WWE, how you treat Raw, SmackDown, NXT, any big promotion that you have. So it was like that deal, just like the respect factor is just like everything. Respect to get you so much further than what you'll do inside the ring. And then, of course, just like being quiet. That's one thing. I talk too much. I was just trying to do too much too early. And it was like, yo, just be quiet, shut your mouth, and just listen.
Yeah.
You'll learn so much more listening, because like with Johnny, if you mess up, he'll chew you out. He gonna chew you out for at least the whole day. If you mess up, you go into the gym that day and you think you gonna get in that ring, nah, he gonna be like, "Pa, come here, sit down. What was you thinking?" That's the voice Johnny always doing. It's like, yo, sit there, and it's like, damn, I'm getting chewed out, but it's not really getting chewed out. He teach you a lesson. He's like, because he cares, like he really cares. This is one trainer that cares about everything, whether, like I said, like you could go and talk to him about your personal life. He's gonna tell you about the mistakes that he made whenever he was on the road. He's gonna tell you different stories that he had experienced, And it's like, okay, like I'm listening to everything. Like he taught me one of the first things, like when you're on the road, he was like, make sure you get gas and you got food. And it's like, wait, huh? It's like, you don't be thinking about that, but it's like you could be driving into town, you get to the venue, and the next gas station is for like another 60 miles away. And your tank is halfway empty and you ain't gonna make it, then it's like you asked out at that point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's got a point. It's the little details like that which I don't think you'd learn from some of maybe the independent workers who are trainers. That comes from working on the road for years at a time, doing the territories. That's that mentality which has been passed on to yourself. I'm sure now when you go to a show, you get your gas and you stock up on food and water.
Everything right then and there. Once we get off the highway, we see that gas station. Yo, Gatorades, water, snack, what you need, bro?
Yeah.
Right here, we get everything done.
I love hearing stuff like this. Hearing about people's different training experiences, and like with Johnny Rodz, people who have learned from Johnny Rodz have gone on to WWE, AEW, MLW, Impact. He's got a great body of work, and I know everyone has a goal in mind, and I hate asking that cliche question, what is your goal? Because everybody wants to make money in the wrestling business. But for you, do you have I'm guessing it right now, you're just wanting to absorb as much as you can get those experiences, wrestle wherever you can, and whatever happens, right?
Yeah, so right now, you know, I'm not at WW no more because obviously I'm doing the indie things right now. I love Johnny, I love everyone there, everything's good. But it's a group of us. It's myself, PJ Savage, a great guy, is a tag team called Face and Jocko, the Faceless Ones, and there's another guy named Prince Ahmed, and there's a guy named Matthew Banks. We call him Honcho. He goes by Buck Skinner now. I hope I said that last name right, but he's a great guy. But our whole thing right now is, you know, getting out there, getting our experience, you know, putting that respect on our names and also putting that respect on Johnny's name, you know, because it's like you'll have everyone come like, oh, we got the best train of this, and it's like we say you're from Johnny Rodz, it's like, huh, okay, cool, or it's like, I know Johnny, but you feel me? Because like Johnny guys, we stay in that bubble.
Yeah,
we hone our craft. We do
I've heard that before. The Johnny guys stay together, just like I'm sure you know the Black and Brave guys. They stay together when they're at shows. They're like a little clique.
Yeah, we all just right there. You know,
all just stay together in your own training circles.
Yeah, so now we all branching out. Like we're everywhere. Like our whole goal right now is to take over. You feel me? To put it out there and to show that, you know, like we are the best, the absolute best out here. It's not a knock that anybody's been doing anything. Hats off to everyone. I love professional wrestling. Anyone who's doing anything, hats off to you. But it's like we feel like we got something to prove. Being that, you know, we couldn't be out here like that. We had to stay in our bubble. We got the Johnny Rodz name to us. And it's just like we just want to get out there and make that name. So right now we all got a plan where it's like 6 months. Give us 6 months. Whereas like that's when like the big names gonna start coming to us. You're gonna start hearing, oh man, like Boujii's on this show. I'm gonna go there. You know,
I love it when that happens, right? There's been people in the past like Masha Slamovich, for example.
Yeah,
spoke to her when she was still in Japan, and then she's come back from Japan and blown up. She's everywhere. And I have that same feeling about you. Give it 6 months to a year's time. I feel like we're going to see you on posters and we'll be like, we spoke to him, you know, and he said about this. So I hope that happens, man.
Hell yeah, bro. You know, and that's something that, you know, we're all hungry for right now. Like, we all just came back from Philly this past weekend. So we was out there doing our thing. And then we were in Jersey this week. Like, we're doing a loop. We went to Connecticut for a test of strength. We had a great match there. Then now we actually later on today I'm going to XWA up in Connecticut. I'll be there later on, and then Jersey like for the rest of this month. So it's like we trying to go everywhere, man. Like I'm trying to get out there to you. I'm trying to get out there and wrestle out there.
Do it, dude. I'm trying to get out there. If you can come to the UK, we say this to every guest. We used to have like one wrestling promotion in the whole of the UK about 10 years ago, and that was it. But then overnight there was like one in every single city. And now there's maybe one or two in every city. If you come to the UK, because we're so small, you can hit up 4 or 5 shows a day, you know?
Yeah, listen, bro, it's a goal because it's funny. I seen, I think it was Daniel Bryan that said this. It was like an excerpt from like a quote or something he said. He was like, I'm only as good as I am because I got to wrestle and learn and from all these places. Went to Japan, went to Mexico, went to the UK, went everywhere. And it's like, I read that and I seen like his body of work is like, I got to do that.
You know what, Daniel Bryan, cool story is we have these shows in the UK called camp shows, which are on like holiday camps. So the people that go to them aren't wrestling fans. They're just families who are on holiday. So they come to see a bit of wrestling with the kids. And they're the hardest fans to win over because they don't have a clue about wrestling. So you've got to really change your style to get them to react. Daniel Bryan did a year's worth of those shows. And he said that he came out of it knowing how to get any crowd to react to anything he did. And he just does credit those shows to how, you know, like he, in WWE, he's got that presence about him. Everything he does, people react to. And if ever you get the chance to come over and work for, take a note, Brian Dixon is the promoter you want to be in touch with in the UK.
Got you.
And he runs All Star Wrestling. If you go into the camp shows, it's like a crash course in just working your character. And everybody tries to get on these shows when they come over. So if you do get the chance, man, come over to the UK. We'll come and support you for a start because I'm all about that. When we get the chance to come and see some people we've interviewed, we're going to do it. So, and Japan as well, I imagine that's a bucket list for yourself, right? It's got to be for everybody, I think.
Japan is just something where it's like, it's just so enticing. You just see it. It's like, oh, like I want a piece of that. Like I want it right there, you know? Because it's like, listen, we all grew up watching WWE. From we all know WWE, and it's like to be real true, I didn't know about like indies when I was younger. I didn't know about Japan. Only thing I knew about was just TNA and WWE, bro. Like that literally was it. Like I had no idea about these other places. And then as I got more into like training, into like the business and everything, I'm like, oh, you go to Japan? Like, oh, you go to Mexico?
Is
like,
wrestling in Japan?
Yeah,
you don't realize, do you?
Like, wait, huh? And it's like it's a big place, bro.
Yeah.
It's crazy, and it's like, I need that. So like Japan is definitely on my list. Like I gotta go to New Japan Pro Wrestling. I have to, bro. Go to New Japan. Definitely come out there to see y'all. I want to go to Mexico. I want to go to Canada. I want to go everywhere, bro. And then it's like whichever and so whatever it is, like whatever promotion, big promotion gives me a contract, I'm gonna be like absolutely. You feel me? I'm not gonna be like no. I'm just gonna hold down, wait for this, because it's like you learn everywhere you go. So whether it's MLW, ROH, WWE, AEW, any of the big promotions out there, bro, was like, hey, like, yo, Boujii, like, we want you. It's like, all right, cool. Like, I'm gonna be your guy, and we're gonna turn up. We're gonna make it fire. We're gonna make it lit, and everything's gonna be crazy, bro. Like that.
Whoever's gonna put food on your table, you're gonna make sure they're getting the best, you know, the best Boujii.
Exactly, you feel me? You put the food on my table, I'm gonna put the butts in the seats for you. I'm gonna do everything that you need to be done.
Love that mentality, man. Like you can just tell how hungry you are to, get out there and make a name for yourself. You can see it in your face. Like when we're speaking to some people, you can tell they're just eager to get back to wrestling because they know they're gonna make an impact when they do. And I think the pandemic's been, I know it's terrible it happened, but the silver lining is it's given so many people a chance to reflect on what they have been doing and what they can do in the future. It's time you wouldn't usually have to think about this kind of stuff. So for yourself, do you feel like this time has given you something to think about?
Definitely. I feel like it was a reset, bro.
Yeah.
Because at WW, like we were all like in competition. Until a degree, I felt like I wasn't like I was trying to like catch up.
Yeah.
You feel me? Because it's like I got a guy like PJ Savage who's the top dog there, and it's like I was a light heavyweight champion. I was a heavyweight champion there for 3 years, the longest reigning champion. I was the first dude champion there. I was a North American champion, and it's like I did a lot there. And it's like at some nights, I'll come out and it's like, oh, Boujii. Some nights like, oh, okay, cool, and some nights it's like I'm pulling it. You feel me?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, like there's a disconnect here. Like what's going on?
Yeah.
And prior to being known as Boujii, I was known as Boujii. Just my boys at WWE just called me that. It was just a name. You feel me? Like I had no character to it. It was really there, and it's like, okay, like I need to work on something. And then like my very last match there, I was sick. I'm almost 90% sure I had COVID.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't a performance that is like I wanted to be remembered for. You know what I'm saying? Like I went up there, I was sick. That's the last time you had seen me for the whole pandemic. So it was like I really sat down and I just had to reflect. I had to look at everything. I had to really figure out, like, okay, like, what do I want to do? Who do I want to be? You feel me? Those type of things. And the pandemic was a blessing in disguise, man. Honestly. You feel me? Because, like, I was sitting out for a whole year, couldn't work, just focusing on wrestling. And now it's like I'm wrestling damn near full time. I literally have a show every weekend this month.
Awesome. Yeah, and that's for a start. Congratulations. That's awesome for us. But I feel like most people are going to come out of the pandemic 10 times the work they were before, even without training, just because they've had so much time to think about, like what they really want from wrestling, the character side of things, the psychology, everything else that you don't always get time to think about. And with you, what kind of character change do you think you've got coming? Can you give us an insight into this?
Definitely. So, for sure, like, okay, so my character is really more so like just me. You feel me? Like I'm just literally being how I would be like with my friends. So some of my interests are jewelry. I like to wear chains, bro. I like to wear them. So you feel me? I incorporated the chains into me, and then I like to do photography. You feel me? So it's like at some point I'm gonna introduce my camera whenever it comes to me coming out to the ring. And then it's just like I make music too, bro. Like I'm an artist as well.
I did see that. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
The pandemic, bro, it's like I love to perform. I love it. So it's like What's if I can't get in the ring, you feel me, and drop kick some people?
You're gonna do it somewhere else.
I gotta do somewhere else. I gotta drop some bars.
You've got too many creative juices. You just need to do it and put it into something, right?
Exactly. And it was like, I think the best thing that happened was me starting to do music because it taught me how to do promos. Like, bro, like I could do a basic promo like, hey, May 15th, come on down, and whoever wants to fight, like the generic promo, the most generic promo was like,
May 15th, but the Honda Civic Center is
did like that type of stuff. And it was like, it wasn't until with music I learned about delivery, I learned about cadence, I learned about your pitch and everything like that, put that emotion behind it. So now I put all that together, and then it was like, I got tired of people saying my name wrong, bro. Like, they would say
it's why I asked you before the show.
It was cool. Nah, it's cool. Y'all good. But it would be something where it's like, they would call me by my gear. You feel me? So it's like, I wear Spider-Man type, like, oh, hey, Spider-Man. I wear Black Panther. Hey, oh, yeah, Black Panther. We're going to put, like, that's not my name, bro.
All right. Yeah, you wouldn't call John Cena Shorts, would you? Or, like, you know, camouflage, you know?
Exactly, bro. Exactly. So it was like, from that point, I went up to, there's this place called The Sanctuary up in Philly. And, like, we was going up there. That's kind of like our base during the pandemic. And we went up there, trained, and they're like, yo, cut a promo. I had no intentions on cutting a promo. They just said, get your ass in that ring. The camera's on, the spotlight's on you, cut a promo. And I'm like, all right. And then PJ comes to me. He's like, yo, what you gonna say? I'm like, I have no idea. He's like, yo, just be real. Just say everything you feeling. All the stuff you say to me, you vent to me about, use it in that promo.
They're always the best promos, aren't they, man? Like, those real, authentic promos.
Always. And it's like, I didn't understand that until then, where it was like, I was seeing everything I felt from the time I was at WW, whether it was like, you know, I feel like I want to get respected. You know, my resume speaks for itself. I was never a number 2. I was always your number 1 player, and you knew that. And it was just like, from that point on, I call them Sunday Service. You go on my YouTube, you look at the Sunday Service. That literally was the beginning of Boujii, of the character that kind of thing.
Yeah.
You have that, and it was like each week. So the first one was called Respect. The second one was called Say My Name, because people was calling me by my gear and not by my actual name. The third one was called NSFW, because that was very raw, and like, I use a lot of strong language, so to say, in that promo. You know what I'm saying? Because it was just real. You feel me? I got tired of being snubbed. You know, you feel me? Like, I'm as professional as they come. I come in, I'll shake hands, I'll introduce myself, I'll do all the right things, I have all the proper etiquette. But it felt like whenever it was time to be reciprocated, I got the short end of the stick. And I was like, all right, cool. That's how y'all want to be, all right? So when you think of a Boujii person, what do you think of? Thinking like, yo, this guy thinks he's better than everybody.
Yeah.
This guy thinks that. And it's like, to be honest with you, I ain't feeling really too humble anymore. I know I'm better than all y'all. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, coming out here, I'm giving y'all that fire. I'm putting some heat to y'all. So now y'all understand, like, I ain't playing with y'all no more. You cannot deny me no longer, because the writing is on the wall.
You was respectful from the start, you know, and people didn't respect you back. So now you're just going to take what you want regardless.
Exactly. And it's like, who's stopping me at this point? Who's stopping me? Like, this weekend, right, I got a show. I got a show with Funhouse Wrestling, right, May 15th. It's a number 1 contenders match. They didn't want to give me the title match because they know what was gonna happen. The little golden boy, the guy Marvelous and everything, they handpicked him. He got lucky. He didn't pin me. We was in a fatal 4 where he pinned someone else. So now you're gonna give me all this runaround. You're not gonna give me my title shot. So now I got the number 1 contenders match.
I think there's a little bit of a conspiracy, to quote Sami Zayn. You know, bit of a conspiracy there, but
exactly.
You're not gonna complain about it though. You're just gonna go out there and take it.
Exactly, because the way I'm feeling is that everyone is up against me. They see what's going on. They see the animal that's here. They see the monster that's here. So they're like, no, we can't let that out. We can't let that out. So, you know, we're gonna throw this number 1 contenders in front of him. We're gonna do this in front of him. All right, cool. Keep throwing it at me. I'm gonna keep knocking it out the way.
They keep giving you hoops to jump through, but I'm guessing you can jump pretty high. You know, you can jump through these hoops.
Listen, I'll jump through them, around them. I'll do a cartwheel, a backflip, whatever you want to see. I'm gonna get through those hoops.
It's, you know, can, like I said before, I can sense the fire in you. You know, that I don't think it's going to be long until we're seeing you at the top of these cards, or even as champion in a lot of these promotions. And I don't even think it's going to be 2022. I think it's going to be the end of 2021 that this happens.
That's the goal. Honestly, that's the goal. Like I'm trying to have it by the end of this year, where it's like, you know, all these guys that got these names, like they know who I am. You know what I mean? They know who I am. They're gonna try, try and ignore it and run for as long as you can. But I'm buzzing. I'm buzzing in the industry. I'm buzzing in these promotions. I'm buzzing. And it's like I'm getting closer and closer to all of y'all, to each and every one of y'all.
I'm not just saying this. I mean, we've spoken to over 200 people in the last 12 months. And there's some people that you speak to that you just know are going to do really well for themselves. And I can just tell that is with you. And what I really like as well is I wasn't massively familiar with your work. And what's happened is I've come into this interview and I've left a big fan of yours. So, you know, that's cool as well. I like talking to people that I don't always know stuff about, because I usually end up becoming a fan of theirs. So, yeah, man, I mean, I am super excited to see what happens with you in the future. And I don't even feel like we've scratched the surface on who Boujii really is. You know, like, and I think that's good, because I don't even think you're only just getting started on showing us who Boujii really is. You know, this is just the start of the story.
It literally is, because it's like, it's funny, because the other day, and it's like, I'm going to keep bringing this guy because, like, he's such a big influence in my career. PJ Savage, like, he spoke to me the other day, and it's like, I did this promo for ULW. I have a show with them on the 23rd. It's a Fatal 4-Way. Yeah. He comes to me, he's like, yo, like, that's probably the best promo you've ever done, but it's still only level 1. I'm just there like, damn, bro. I just put some fire together, and you tell me I'm showing you on level 1? Damn. But it's like, you need people like that, because it's like, no matter how good you are, good is not good enough.
They're going to ground you again.
Yes, exactly. I be thinking I'm here, smacks me right back down. Nope, you set this wrong. You should have set this a little strong. You should have did this. And it's like, all right, cool. It's like, I love it because it keeps me on my toes. And it's like, we're competitive with each other. So it's like, I watch what he does, he watch what I do, and it's like, we're gonna main event. We are main event players. We're gonna main event whether whether it's a Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens story, where it's ROH, where it's all over the indies, but it's like, that's a WrestleMania match. I guarantee you that's gonna happen. You feel me? Because it's like, we got the same mindset.
Yeah.
We both know what it is to get to the top, and we both have very, very supportive families. You know what I'm saying? It's like, we both have great women that are by our side and like let us go out there and do our thing. He has 4 kids that love him to death. I got 3 little brothers that love me. My baby brother, his name is Bryce. That boy is my heart. He texts me every day, and he'll send me, like, he knows Stone Cold's my favorite wrestler of all time.
Yeah.
He'll just send me a Stone Cold poster, a Stone Cold picture, just anything like that. And then it's like, I was texting him. Matter of fact, hold on, let me see, because he just texted me earlier. Where is he at? And then, like, right here. Hold on, I'm gonna show you this real quick. Just because it's like, little kids, man, they watch everything. Yeah. They watch everything. They love it. Let me see if I can show you it. But it's like, he texts me. He's watching my match.
I'm going to send you a picture.
Yeah. He's watching my match. And it's just like, he's like, yo, I'm watching it now. And it's like, he stays up to date with everything. And then the other day, he thought he was funny. He called me Boujii. I'm like, you know that's not my name no more. He said, shut up, little J Boujii. I'm like, oh, okay.
Wow, getting sass off the little brother.
You know what I'm saying? They're like, all right, I got something for you. But it's like, he told me he wants to be a professional wrestler. He wants to be tag team champions with me. He literally told me.
That's the coolest thing I've heard. Not only are you his hero, you know, you're a real life professional wrestler. His brother is a wrestler. I bet he tells everybody.
Yeah,
he also wants to be tag champion with you.
Literally. And it's like, it's so crazy, because it's like, that always puts things in perspective for me, where it's like, I got my little man watching me. You feel me? My little brothers is watching me. And it's just like, I got to make sure he's good. And then, crazy story. My other brother, right? He's 13 now. His name is Xavier. One of my very first few shows with Johnny Rodz, we was at La Boom in Queens. I'm in a 3-man tag match, right? So guys beating me up. He knocked my head up against we're outside the ring, on the edge of the ring, around the apron. My little brother hops the fence, bro. He hops the barricade, and he pushes homie, and he starts to square up with him.
No, he does.
Bro, I'm on the ground. I'm like, oh my God, my career is over. My career is over before it even starts. And I just like, damn. Then I went to John, like, Johnny, I'm so sorry. He's like, no, but it's great. Everyone loved it. The crowd loved it. So I'm like, oh man. But it's like, little moments like that where it's like they're watching. It's like I gotta make sure they're good. So I gotta make sure my mom is good. I gotta make sure my community is good. Like I said, when we first started this conversation off, it's like you hear about basketball, you hear about football, you hear about baseball. You hear nothing about professional wrestling. You hear nothing about whether a kid wants to do damn water polo or like be a swimmer or like soccer. You feel me, bro? Like all other like weird sports and weird activities, there's not a lot of resources for it. So you feel me? I want to be the guy that introduces it. You feel me? Where it's like, all right, like, okay, John did this, Boujii did this. Like, okay, if he can do it, I can definitely do it. I want to be that catalyst. I want to be the spark for all communities, kids everywhere. It was like, look like me, we look like each other, we have the same interests.
Yeah, exactly. That is important as well, very important. And if you can do that, I'm sure you're already off to a good start. It sounds like your family all want to become professional wrestlers thanks to you now. Yeah, you could make it into a family dynasty,
Hey man, listen. I got the little brothers interested in it. I don't got no kids right now of my own, but in due time, whenever that does come, you best believe they're gonna be bumping right out the womb.
Second generation Boujiis. That's what it's gonna be.
That's exactly what it's gonna be right there.
I love it. But yeah, man, like I said, I feel like we're just scratching the surface. I'd love if in a couple of months we could get you back on. And, see how that Fatal 4-Way went. See if there's any more conspiracies being thrown your way.
There's a lot going on.
There's going to be, right? Yeah. But at least you can come on Ringsiders and you can tell everybody about these conspiracies.
I will. You know what? I'm definitely back.
We've got your back, man. We've got your back. But in the meantime, tell everyone about the upcoming shows, about where they can find you on social media, and any merchandise you might have.
Yeah, so it's J Boujii everywhere. JBOUJII 2 I's. On Twitter, I think I got like an underscore because people be stealing my name, so it's okay. I had to switch it up a little bit. Same thing for ProWrestlingTees.com. I got a whole bunch of merch on there, a whole bunch of t-shirts, fire. You can wear with everything. Catch me this Saturday, May 15th with Funhouse Wrestling. It'll be a number one contenders match to get rid of all these conspiracy theories and to get one step closer to being a champion once again. Then later on this month, catch me at ULW. We're going to be having our very first show, Upper Limit Wrestling. Another Fatal 4-Way.
Of course.
4-Way. I'm going to be against Blackstrom, Brother Greatness, and Gabriel Sky. Those are also great competitors as well. And then also I'll be in Massachusetts in June. Not quite sure what I'm doing there, but also I'm gonna be in Pennsylvania July 10th. So I'm gonna be everywhere, knock down all these conspiracy theories. I'm gonna spin back around right on here on Ringside, let y'all know what's going on. I'm gonna have some more gold. Look, this one of the t-shirts right here. Look, Raph,
I was gonna say I love that t-shirt actually.
You feel me? So right here, this t-shirt here is all the butchered ways they pronounce my name. Right here. So we have to cross them all out and Boujii right there on the bottom.
Yeah, there you go. There's no excuses now.
No excuses. I got it on the shirt right there for you.
You shouldn't have had to make a shirt to educate these people, but
and that's the frustrating. That's the frustrating part. But you know what? I'm gonna make it a little easier, just a little easier for them.
Hey, dude, if you can make money off people's ignorance, do it. I'm with you on that. So,
that's what I'm saying.
But it sounds like you've got a busy month. Super excited for you. We'll definitely get you back on. But in the meantime, Boujii, we've been Ringsiders Wrestling. Thank you for coming on.
Definitely. Thank you, man.